Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing post-fight analysis for UFC on FX3. Did not do well on my picks, unfortunately. So that kind of sucks. The other thing about the card too is the prelims, except for the Peg, Papazian, and Means versus Oz fight, they're not that great to be perfectly honest. The main card though was awesome. But, yeah, the prelims are not that good, to be perfectly honest with you. Couple split decisions. I don't know how Mike Pierce got a split decision when he got, he should have got unanimous. I think I was read wrong, but there's a lot of decisions. But I don't have a problem with decisions, per se, but, these fights, Grice, just kind of using top control on Garcia, a couple of workman-like fights and whatnot. But also we have Mike Pyle earning knockout of the night. That knockout over Neer was really cool. Eric Silva got submission of the night. I'll have some stuff to say about Eric Silva. And Wineland versus Jorgensen was fight of the night. Okay, let's get started. Demetrius Johnson beat Ian McCall by unanimous decision. It's funny, I was having a discussion about this fight with the other Chris, actually. And one thing he said was, oh, what if Demetrius Johnson makes adjustments this time around? And I was thinking in my head, nah, I shouldn't have thought this, but I kind of thought, nah, Ian McCall, I knew that Johnson had the superior striking and McCall had the superior wrestling. But I was kind of thinking, like, I think I'll just look kind of like the first fight, McCall will win probably 2 rounds, especially with his wrestling. The only problem is Demetrius Johnson made the adjustments. Between fights, his takedown defense was a lot better. His ability to get back to his feet was much better as well. So I just totally disregarded that when I really shouldn't have. I don't think Demetrius Johnson is going to beat Joseph Benavidez. I think Benavidez is the favorite to win this for a reason. Johnson's really quick. His striking is good. His wrestling, he has stout wrestling as well, and his ability to get back to his feet has always been really good. That's the thing. But yeah, I think Benavidez, Team Alpha Male, strong wrestler, great guillotine. I think a better finisher, that's than Johnson. But otherwise, I think it'll be a great fight. Don't get me wrong about that. Ian McCall, he looked kind of like he was getting more flat-footed as the fight went along. Like, I heard that he weighed in like at 150, or like after the weigh-ins, he ballooned back up to like 150 pounds. Kind of showed actually. Maybe he just had a really tough weight cut. And quite honestly, I'm not making excuses for him. He lost fair and square, actually. After this fight, I'm guessing he should probably fight Urushi Tani. It'd be also really cool to see him fight Dodson. So one of those 2 fights would be really good. I was rooting for Uncle Creepy because he's such a character. He was clearly disappointed after once the decision was called. Even before that, he knew he lost the fight, and that's the thing. There's some there's some parts of his stand up, like when he keeps his hands low and stuff like that. That could use some work. Otherwise, he's still a top flyweight for sure. I hope he can get a win in the UFC eventually, because he's a really good fighter. Next fight after that, Eric Silva beat Charlie Brenneman by rear naked choke in the first round. This was cool because, one, everyone's thinking like, okay, how's this guy gonna do against a wrestler? The cool thing is like he beat the wrestler. The cool thing also is like Brenman really had, and I mean this is his game plan on every fight, the intention of just wrestling and taking him down, putting pressure on him with his wrestling. You know, a lot, that one combo he uses a lot is an over and right double leg takedown setup. You know, thankfully with Silva, he has really good knees. And one thing that really made me happy is that even though he got taken down, he showed great urgency to get back to his feet. I think also the pace that Brennan was going, Silva couldn't match it. So that was really cool too. There's some things that, you know, I don't know if Silva was showboating, but there's some times when his hands are like to his hips and stuff. You know, that's the thing. His striking's, like I said, it's really good. He's timing those knees really well. I really liked his counter wrestling approach. That was really impressive, especially with his knees. I think he is finally honing in on the overhand right double leg takedown, and I think he's countering that as well. So that was cool. And like I said, I'm really glad he would get back to his feet when he was taken down. I'm pretty high on him. What can I say? I think he's, you know, there's prospects like Ellenberger, Roy McDonald. You know, it's starting to appear like Eric Silva's gonna be in that like list of welterweight up and comers. You know, that these are the guys to look out for. They'll probably challenge for the title sooner rather than later. I think Eric Silva's in that list. You know, and it could just be hype, but you know, I was impressed with what I saw from him. He could fight a guy like Mike Pyle next. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad fight. Really good test for him too. The other guy I'd like to have seen him fight is Ebersol. I know Ebersol's, I forget who he's fighting. I forgot who Ebersol's fighting, but I'd like to see him fight like a veteran, like an Ebersol as well. Someone, you know, someone more mid. Like, even though I'm high on him, I'd still like to. I don't think he should be fighting the Koscheck's, Fitches, Thiago Alves is maybe, you know, not even that. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, I'm pretty high on the guy. This fight showed a lot. Still won in the first round. Won by submission too. For a guy who likes to strike, he has a lot of submission victories. You know, so like he has that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt as long as the good striking, and he puts up a really good pace. And the guy's offense it's really cool. It's really cool to watch. He's a really fun fighter to watch. Next fight after that, Mike Pyle beat Josh Neer by knockout in the first round. You know what's cool about this is like I thought Neer was gonna win. To be honest, he was putting the pressure on, throwing strikes, and then Pyle, like, it wasn't a lucky punch or anything like that. Like, Neer was just his hands were low. I mean, he left himself open to, and I don't believe in lucky punches anyways. But good one for Pyle. This is his second victory by strikes in a row now. And now he TKO'd Ricardo Funk, and now this is a straight KO too over Josh Neer, who's really known to have a pretty good chin as well. So I'm really impressed with him. Pyle's only loss as of late is to Roy McDonald, so obviously he's definitely been hitting his stride as of late. He's kind of showing that he can beat kind of like the mid and lower tiers pretty consistently now. So he's definitely got to step up in competition. The only thing with him is every time he's stepped up in competition, generally loses. He's played spoiler before too. You know, he beat John Hathaway. and pretty much just dominated him, really. Near's always going to be like that trusty veteran, you know. He has fun fights, win or lose. You know, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll just fight other mid or lower tier guys. Finally, yeah, it gets kind of interesting with him now because, you know, he's finishing his opponents. He's looking pretty good. Well, in this fight, he didn't even look that great. You know, he was getting hit a lot by Near. That's the thing. You know, I really did think I thought he was going to lose the fight, to be honest. I mean, watching the fight, I predicted him to win. So, as far as his next fight goes, geez, I don't know. It's tough to say. I just think he should find a higher step up in competition. I can't name a particular fighter, though, who he should fight at the moment. That's the thing. I'll probably have to get back to that. In the next fight, Eddie Wineland beat Scott Jorgensen by KO in the first round. First time Scott Jorgensen's been finished. And he's known to have a pretty stout chin, too. I've seen him take some hits from, like, Renan Barão. You know, he's going toe-to-toe with guys like Pickett. That's the thing. So, you know, that really surprised me, actually. Wineland, you know, I always like that. I always like his boxing. He has good boxing, good takedown defense. He also throws a lot of, well, he doesn't show it here, but he does throw good body punches as well. Good to see Wineland like finally get a win too. Actually, I mean, I didn't pick him to win. I picked Jorgensen, but I do like Wineland. You know, he's a very good fighter. He's a very skilled fighter. Stand-up's good. His takedown defense is very solid. You know, he's fought a lot too. You know, he's fought everyone. You know, he's quite the veteran. Geez, at 135, I can see him fight a guy like a Michael McDonald, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that'd be pretty cool. Geez, who else is coming up in that division? It's really tough. I can't really think of who else like is kind of up there. With Jorgensen, though, you know, I kind of want to see him fight at flyweight. One thing that really hurts Jorgensen too is he's really flat-footed, and it's really hurt him against a lot of his opponents. That's the thing. He takes a lot of hits, you know. He has stout wrestling, but Wineland was able to really defend takedowns or get back to his feet when he did get taken down. I'd like to see Jorgensen. I mean, yeah. There's good fights from him at 135, but I'd honestly like to see him cut to 125 if possible. Okay, on to the prelims. Mike Pierce beat Carlos Eduardo Roca. I think this fight split. It's kind of weird. It's like some like weird split decision thing. Not a fun fight to watch. It is very Mike Pierce grinding. He was, besides the end of the third round, he was really scared to get, really cautious in Roca's guard for a reason too. You know, Roca, this was a really bad stylistic matchup and a tough first fight, coming back from a year layoff, an over a year layoff. You know, I picked Pierce to win. He kind of won the way I thought he would. He's quite the grinder. You know, he's a guy that can definitely get back up there. I mean, he's only had, like, when he loses, it's like, you know, good guys, and he doesn't necessarily look really bad against them, like against Hendricks or Koscheck or even Fitch. You know, he acquits himself pretty well. He doesn't look like he gets totally dominated, and I thought he beat Koscheck anyways. I'd like to see him fight someone up there. You know, Pierce Pyle would be cool. Pierce Silva would be cool. So yeah, I think that kind of works. With Roca, you know, someone more mid, someone more lower tier. He can fight like. There's a couple welterweights on this card. Like if Roca fights Near or Lance Benoist, you know, that works for me. You know. Next fight after that, I didn't actually get to see this, as Seth Baczynski beating Lance Benoit by split decision. I think there's some illegal knees involved from what I read. Now, Seth Baczynski, he's actually on like a 3-fight winning streak now. Lance was undefeated, if I'm not mistaken, before this fight. So, Seth's actually getting up there. He's slowly getting a win streak, but it's a lot of his fights are on the prelims. So, he's just one of those guys that's like quietly getting a win streak. I suppose now is a better time than ever to get like a bigger fight for him. He did beat like gatekeepers like Matt Brown. Lance is actually a pretty solid fighter himself. I think it's time to give him like a step up in competition. That's why like a guy like a Pyle would kind of work there, or Pierce, So it's good fights for him. Next fight after that, Matt Grice beat Leonard Garcia by unanimous decisions. This wasn't a very fun fight to watch. His takedowns, top control. Against a guy like Leonard Garcia, though, that's probably what you should do. You shouldn't get into these brawls with the guy. We all know he's won a bunch of them that he probably shouldn't have won, too. But he's a superior wrestler, and that's pretty much what he used it to his advantage. Garcia's on like this 3-fight losing streak. He's always a fun fighter. The UFC likes him. I think they'll keep him. The thing is, he's not a UFC caliber guy, but he has really fun fights. That's the thing. So, sure, I'm sure we'll see him fight like just some other lower tier guys. With Grice, not much I can say about the guy. He didn't win. He didn't look great in victory or anything like that. So, more like lower to mid tier guys in his division is probably who he should be fighting. Next after that, Dustin Pegg beat Jared Papazian by rear naked choke. There's a weird controversy here because like Papazian has his like feet on the cage, and the ref deemed that it was that was illegal, or he kept trying to remove his feet from the cage or something. Which is kind of weird. I thought that was pretty. I didn't think that was against the rules or anything like that. Otherwise, good win for Pegg. He got the takedown, went straight to mount. Papazian gave up his back, kind of fought up some initial attempts, but Pegg managed to get the rear naked choke. I really thought I was actually confident in Papazian winning. I was really impressed with how he looked against Easton in his last fight. So, and with Pegg, in his last fight against Albert, he got just floored in the first minute of the fight. He got like knocked out. I think by John Albert, if I'm not mistaken. So, I really didn't think he'd win this fight. A lot of these lower tier guys, a lot of these prelim fighters too. Like I can't really say where they should go next. It's just more like, okay, they should fight guys, that like Dustin Pegg. I guess you can fight a guy like a Bedford or like the winner of like DeLorme. Nah, that's too. Jeez, I can't, because it's really hard to think of like what 135ers are out there. The winner of like Gagnon versus Caraway. I think they're fighting out bantamweight, if I'm not mistaken. Otherwise, yeah, it's like, okay, you should probably fight other lower to mid tier, bantamweights. Same with Papazian. Yeah. Papazian's 2-fight losing streak. Don't know if he'll. So the division's really thin. So, I'm pretty sure they'll probably keep him. Next right after that, Tim Means beat up Justin Salas by TKO. and to win by TKO in the first round. One thing that's noticeable here is that Means was a lot bigger than Salas. That's one thing that was like, he looked like he was just in a totally different weight class. You know, Means is a huge and pretty aggressive. Geez, I think they're fighting at lightweight, if I'm not mistaken. But geez, I lost my train of thought. The thing is, with Means, yeah, you know, he's a big lightweight. He's pretty aggressive. I mean, he just had his way with Justin Salas here. He's on a good 2-fight win streak now, actually. Well, once again, it's like tough to say. I guess more like lower to mid-tier guys in the lightweight division. You know, I can't really say particular opponents or anything like that. Same with Salas, you know. I'm tempted to just go through the list here because Buddy Roberts beat Kyle Magalash by unanimous decision. It's kind of a sloppy affair. Henry Martinez beat Bernardo Magalash by split decision. And Sean Pearson beat Jake Tack by unanimous decision. You know, there's just not much I can say about these fights. They're kind of lackluster fights, and they're all like lower mid-tier guys. So you know, there's not really much I can really say where they should go next. You know, they should fight more lower and mid-tier guys in the respective divisions. That's the thing, and there's really not much to say in particular about these fights, to be honest. So yeah, that's pretty much my post-fight analysis for UFC on FX3. If you have any comments, just leave them below. That's it for MMA for you. Thank you very much.